Hey guys, Dr. Justin Feldman here from Feldman Physical Therapy and Performance, and we're going to talk today a little bit about running with IT band pain. So IT band pain is a really common thing. We see it with a bunch of runners. It can present itself in a couple different ways. Okay, so sometimes we'll get people with IT band pain where primarily their pain is in their hip, and then other times we'll see runners with IT band pain where primarily their pain is down sort of just above the outside of their knee on the lateral part of their knee, or sometimes just below or right around the knee joint. And IT band pain can be super annoying. It can be really painful, but really it all comes down to usually being a matter of training error. And so what do I mean by training error? I mean that it is something that will come on if your training load increases a little bit too quickly for the strength of your body. And a lot of times this will happen if, one, we say took the winter off and the springtime comes and we get right back into our training load that we were running sort of in the fall. Maybe we trained for a marathon, we go right back out and sort of pick up with that kind of weekly mileage that we had before. Sometimes it can happen if we end up doing a bunch of really hilly runs that we're not ready for. So if we spend most of our time running, say, on a rail trail or pretty flat ground and go on vacation, travel somewhere else, and we find ourselves around a lot of hills, that can be a cause. The other thing that can happen is if you might start running with a new group, grab a new friend, and you run at a slightly faster pace than what you're used to. And so a lot of those things can lead to IT band pain. One of the big things to think about here, though, is that in this situation might be a little contrary to what you would think, but rest is really your enemy. So a lot of times people will say, oh, it hurts, I'm just going to rest it, right? But the problem is that someone much smarter than me used this analogy once. It's sort of like if you have a pebble in your shoe and you take your shoe off, when you put the shoe back on, you're still going to have a pebble in there. And so if you just rest it, when you go back, that underlying weakness that led that to develop is still there. And so we really want to get you strengthening it. So the other thing we want to get you to do is get rid of these guys, okay? So it's a foam roller. People will talk about foam rolling their IT band. People will foam roll it for days. I've had people come into the clinic who are black and blue and bruised from the amount of foam rolling and massage guns and jackhammers, all these other things they've been doing to themselves. Your IT band is really, really, really thick tissue. I remember this being one of the things, like in the cadaver lab in school, just being amazed at how thick that tissue was, and you are not doing anything to it with this guy, okay? The other thing I want you to stop doing is stop stretching it, okay? You cannot stretch your IT band. It is non-contractile tissue. Again, it is tense, it is coarse, and not something that is going to be super stretchy, okay? But if we take the opposite approach and we strengthen, okay, both our glute and some of these lateral outside hip muscles, okay, then that is going to make a really big difference, all right? The other thing I want you to try and do, and we talked about this if you haven't watched our How to Run with Knee Pain video, okay, is I want you to run a little bit wider, okay? We want to get those feet and get that stance opened up a little bit, all right? Because one of the things that will happen with IT band pain is if your leg starts to drift across your body and you start to run with your feet really close together, if you're one of those people that tends to get nice little like rub on the outside of your shoe, wearing away your shoe, okay? That narrowness of your stance is going to put extra torque and tension out here. We're going to try and strengthen all the stuff to hold you out there, but, all right, you can do yourself a huge favor by running a little bit wider. So start off with, all right, stuff not to do. Get rid of the foam roller. It's really good if you want to like rest your cell phone on top of it. These ones with the hole in the middle, great. Kids love to play with it, put their arm in it. That's really what they're best for. Stop stretching it, okay? The third thing I want you to do is pause what you're doing right now. Make sure you go down, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel so that every time we put out a new one of these videos that you get to see the video. I think you get a notification, something like that. And share it with your friends. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to get some information out to people, sort of take away some of the myth of what we do, and share some stuff online so we can help everybody out. So go ahead, get into that, and we're going to jump right into 3 really easy exercises that will make your IT band pain go away. All right, so first exercise we want to get you doing, all right? We're going to get you down on the ground, and we're going to go into a side plank, okay? We want to build up your ability to control your hips in space, all right? One of the things when we're running that will lead to some IT band issues is if you either get some hip drop when that one leg comes off the ground, all right? Or if we start to get narrow in our stance like we talked about a couple seconds ago. So we're going to come down, we're going to do a side plank, but we're going to be pretty specific about how we go about doing it, all right? So you're going to come down, all right? What we want you doing here is one leg stacked on top of the other, elbow right underneath your shoulder. You're going to come up. We want you nice and stable through here, all right? And this is sort of the baseline, okay? Our goal is about 20 seconds. Now, if that seems really, really, really hard, okay, and you're not able to hold that position up, what I want you to do is just kind of take it down a notch by bending your knees a little bit. So you'll come here, we'll have your knees bent, and you're going to prop up, and you're going to hold. Right here like that, okay? Same deal, 20 seconds, all right? Now, what we're going to do is, if the first one, right, legs together seems really easy, then our benchmark and what we're really looking for you to be able to do is here, okay, stacked, and then this leg up in the air. And I want you to be able to hold that position with that leg up for about 20 seconds, okay? Now, again, so we mix and match for you a little bit. You could play around here. If the leg up is a little bit too hard for you, okay, you could play around by just sort of bending your bottom knee a little bit and getting back into that position. And you'll find that spot where you're going to feel it exactly in the right way for you. I definitely recommend that if you're doing this one, get a much softer floor than what I'm doing on this on here. This floor is pretty hard and solid, and you'll feel that after a little while. So that's exercise number 1, side planks. All right, now, next thing we're going to get you to do is we're going to get you to jump into a second exercise, and this one is going to be some toe taps with a band. So what I want you to do is you want to grab one of these little mini loop resistance bands. I'll throw a link down in the comments here or in the description of the video for the bands that we use. They're just a simple little like medium resistance band. What you're going to do is you're going to throw this around your legs, and I want it just above your knees, okay? And then you're going to go feet apart, okay? And we're going to make you tap your toe out to the side here on a little bit of an angle. So if I sort of spin forward, right, we're going to take the left leg, you're going to touch your foot and tap out. And what I would say is I want you to tap, okay, with only as much weight as you would put on an egg if you didn't want to break the egg. We'll do this for about 30 seconds, okay? We don't want to do a number of reps because I want you to go nice and slow. And I don't want you to rush through it. And then we'll switch sides. Now, as I'm doing this, big thing to focus on here is pelvis, right? Pretend it's a big bowl of water. I don't want you to spill the water forward, backwards, or to either side. So you got to keep it nice and level. Come back and forth. Just like that. I would say is about 3 rounds of 30 seconds per side. And we'll jump right into the third exercise. All right, so third exercise, we do want you to have a step for this one. This is a little bit of a different take on a step down exercise. So you can use a bottom stair if you have a staircase. Try not to use a middle stair in a staircase because if you fall all the way down. What we want you to do is you're going to come up on the step here and you're just going to step forward and down. And so same idea as with that toe tap, hips nice and level. You're going to come down, tap, back up, okay? What we want you to work on here is as you come down, right, I don't want your hips to tilt and go sideways, and I want you to be able to control all the way down, tap that leg to the floor, and then switch sides, okay? As you do this, I want you to think about dropping slow and keeping that knee from really caving all the way across your body here. So if I do this, I'm thinking about knee sort of over second and third toe and down. I'm not letting it drift that way. And I'm just tapping lightly and back up. We can get a little bit more emphasis. If you want to pause up here and balance and down and pause. I like to do around 2 to 3 sets of 12 of that one with people. And so those are going to be your 3 exercises right there. We're going to do some side planks. We're going to do some band toe taps out to the side there. And we're going to do some forward step downs. And that is going to get rid of that IT band pain for good. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So just quick little summary here of what we want you really paying attention to is get rid of those passive things, okay? Get rid of those foam rollers. Don't do that stretching. You're not going to get rid of that IT band pain by doing that. The other thing is don't just rest, all right? IT band pain, whether it's hip or knee, okay? Catch it early on. It does not mean you have to stop running, okay? Most of the time, we want you to remember that it is usually a training load error. Usually means your body took too much load before it was really built up and ready to take that load. These exercises, the side plank, the toe tap, the front step down, they're geared to help you build up, okay, and improve your tolerance to that load. But at the same time, you could decrease that training load and allow yourself to continue training while you get stronger. Hopefully you found this helpful. Please, if you didn't already, go ahead, like the video. If you have questions, comments, post them right down there below. Definitely make sure to check out our video on how to run through knee pain. It correlates a lot with this one as far as talking about that wider stance. So I think I'm good enough at this YouTube stuff that you should see a link down there for it now. So hopefully that part of the tech worked out. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you back here in a couple weeks with another topic.